Hello everybody and welcome back on Sunday here on the Heroes Launch channel. My name is Samu. I will be the host for today. And for this series today, we're gonna start off with Division 1 and we have here the beautiful Transparent joining me and DustyJim for this.
Hello. Yes, I'm excited today, Sammy. This should be a fantastic couple of, a big old best of 5 here for the Division 1 finals.
Indeed, and the big thing for those best of 5 series, of course, if they go to the last map, which map will it be? But first of all, we have to find out, of course, what will be the first map where we're going to. And first of all, interesting. We do have bans against Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple by Armwrestlers Suomi banning out Garden of Terror and Volskaya Foundry, and then Armwrestlers picking up Dragonshire for this game number 1.
Yeah, Dragonshire, always a great map to start on as well, because you can really get the lay of the land with the teams. So you get to sort of know who's sort of better at the rotations, maybe who's better at macro, or who's just a better solo laner, as of course, Dragonshire is very solo laner dependent.
In the Dragonshire, one of the maps which rely heavily on rotations, so the offlaner might run into some issues due to a lot of 1v2s or something, so Genji definitely one of those heroes which might make an appearance in this map.
Yeah, and during the regular season, both teams have picked Dragonshire only once, curiously enough.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's a good one to pull out in a best of 5. You really can save your better maps maybe till later for a bit of a comeback. Maybe you feel like in this sort of scenario against one of these teams, you feel like it's a bit of a better one to start on. So really is a lot of strategy when it comes to having that best of 5 rather than just the best of 3.
Yeah, maybe the teams have prepared something during the scrims or whatever, some wicked strategy. We'll see.
Of course, we will have predictions going up during the draft as well. There is plenty of stuff to be getting on with, as well as Season 20 signups are now open. We'll be saying that throughout the day, of course. We have a few little special events coming in as well for Season 20. Blog post will be around later, either tonight or tomorrow, depending on when it's finished. Supposed to be finished last week, but I got deathly sick. And so here we are instead. It's all good. But yeah, sign-ups. Sign-up's not working, Samu. I'll sort that out. Don't you worry.
Indeed, does not yet, as we say. But yeah, first map. Of course, just having a quick look under the maps which are banned. We do see Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow removed by Armwrestlers, 2 big maps, where globals get a lot into play, and the late game is very certain 2 of those. But also, Suomi banning out Garden of Terror and Volskaya Foundry, the 2 long-going maps, usually with Garden of Terror having kind of a weak objective, similar to Volskaya Foundry. Not being able to end early on those maps is very common.
Yeah, sometimes you even have Dragonshire, having until level 10 until the first objective is really even contested. But sometimes it goes off sort of almost instantaneously in the game, but then only gets 1 tower. So it's really hard to sort of find that crucial balance of how can you sort of make the most of the Dragon Knight, and also how can you make the most of when the Dragon Knight's not available. Pushing down that bottom lane with siege camps, with the bruiser camp, or even just with your heroes. Maybe Sylvanas will be picked up, or maybe we'll see other stuff going on. Jim, what are we likely to see here in terms of heroes, do you think?
Well, I'm looking at the team stats, and Suomi seems to really prefer Diablo, Brightwing, Hanzo, and Junkrat, so this is a really good map for Brightwing, so I assume that since they have a first pick, Armwrestlers would probably ban it, actually, but I'm not sure, of course. And on the side of Armwrestlers, the top picks are Junkrat, Blaze, Leoric, and Stukov. Sylvanas is actually not very far away from these, so as you've said, we might see her as well. But Junkrat is basically perma-banned against them, so perhaps Suomi would ban it as well.
Yeah, Junkrat being a real sort of nasty piece of work sometimes. Spacing, just zoning, controlling those bushes, especially on the bottom point. Having that extra bit of vision can really help when sort of stopping the tanks, invading that point, or even just coming around to try and get on your back line.
Yeah, this is a really good map for both Hanzo and Junkrat, who can just sort of like AFK in the bot lane, allowing the rest of the team to rotate wherever they please. So we might see either Hanzo or Junkrat, or maybe even both. And in terms of like these roaming heroes, I see that Suomi plays Genji and Tracer. So this is also something that we can see. These heroes kind of allow you to perma-gank the top lane and facilitate the taking of the objective. Perhaps
It is.
even getting kills on the enemy solo laner.
Yeah, it is going to be such a high-level game. Certainly, you know, the top of Division 1 is not very far from even Division 1 Plus. But let's get into it. Draft number 1 on Dragonshire.
Dragonshire it is, and we do see Suomi with the first pick on this first map. Anything special you expect out of the first ban out of this best of 5 series?
Yeah, as I've said, it's probably Brightwing. If I was the banning person. Okay.
Oh.
But it's going to be Hogger. Suomi have banned Hogger 15 times. It is their top most banned hero. And, you know, that to me says offlane is definitely a focus. Now, Johanna has been a consistent ban from Armwrestlers as well as Hanzo. We may well see that coming here in these first early bans, especially against the team who likes to play Hanzo, such as Suomi.
Yeah, with Hogger being gone, it means the offlaner does have an easier time not being under pressure of Hogger just taking a bruiser camp quickly and then running down your lane. And there comes the Brightwing ban from Armwrestlers, which you mentioned, and here also comes Sylvanas. And Hanzo.
But with Brightwing out of the picture, now it's even more likely that we'll see something like Tracer or Genji on the blue side.
And Brightwing with that polymorph very strong, shutting down those engage heroes, those dive heroes. But first of all, we're gonna see a poke hero coming out. Junkrat being picked up by Suomi, getting that control around this bottom shrine.
Yeah, that is going to be an imposing presence. But speaking about imposing presence, Diablo has been picked up by my here as well as the Hacker. So going for that highly rotational sort of thing of bringing the Hacker from the top lane into the bottom lane to try and get something out of it. But speaking of more controlled in those bushes, here comes Lucio here for the side of Suomi.
What do you mean? You mean he's gonna pick Boombox for the bush
Maybe.
vision?
Maybe. It's a constant pick of theirs, but of course, you know, also just be able to zip in and out, stopping Hacker from the licks. You can boop the Hacker, stops any sort of lick action, as well, of course, High Five being an incredible tool here. But Muradin is going to be the tank here for Surrey.
It's also a very interesting matchup between Diablo and Lucio, because at a certain point, when the Lucio is good enough, he will be able to boop the Diablo Qs, and then Diablo will run into big issues trying to engage onto someone. But before that, if Lucio does not have the reaction time, not the anticipation to hold his Q for this Diablo, he just gets wallbanged and dies himself.
Yep, but Blaze being the ban out here. I have to Hoggo was banned out in the first rotation by Suomi. With Blaze now being banned out as well, Suomi's falling a little bit out behind in terms of offlaners they can pick up. But Medivh is going to be the thing that they are most worried about.
Yeah, is that the logic is probably like denying the Leyline APOC combo, perhaps?
For sure, for sure.
It's not just Leyline APOC. We do see on the side of Suomi the Junkrat as well. So they have not an easy time killing Diablo. And then if he gets empowered by Medivh, that's really someone wreaking havoc in your backline.
They themselves have gone for Tychus. Now that's going to be shredding through that Muradin. Now on the other side of things, I was about to say it's probably going to be Rexar as that other pick. You know, they've picked it 4 times. It's never been banned against them or banned for them. So let's hope that Volk can keep it up here with Misha. And MXD, usually sort of a little bit of a flashier player here. We will probably see either that Tracer or Genji coming out here from Suomi. Which one is it going to be? And it's going to be...
Genji?
Falstad.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. Falstad coming in here. Now it's going to be helping with that top rotation a lot, especially the Dahaka potentially burrowing down. Now, if they're able to quickly disengage in that bottom skirmish, Falstad could even fly top and they can put pressure in the top lane, really making it a troublesome place for Dahaka. Use sort of that counter aggression against globals. That can be a really nice way to play into it, especially on a map like Dragonshire, when those structures can slowly be whittled down. But speaking of structures being whittled down, you're just going to be whittling down a Ragnaros instead.
Yeah, very interesting setup with double bruiser for the red team. Like in general, they are very short range. So Tychus is very low range, and then they have 3 melee characters. So we'll see how that works for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. As we count down, Samu, we're about to say goodbye to you, but it's time for your predictions as well as everybody in chat's predictions. Prediction points are up there.
Indeed, get your predictions in the chat with the usual Twitch predictions. I mean, it's gonna be pretty rough. On the one side, we do have the Junkrat Falstad, which are pretty good at poking either opponents. Well, on the other side, we have Tychus, Ragnaros, Dahaka, Diablo. They don't have the biggest range, except for Odin on Tychus, when you usually want to use that to push in. But there's, of course, the Diablo Q into flip combo, and then a Ragnaros. The first smash, it will just follow up onto it. So I think Armwrestlers have a pretty good one-shot combo, and they have a pretty good shot at winning this game number 1. But anyways, take it away, Transparent DustyJim, for game number 1 on Dragonshire.
Yep, welcome one and all to game number 1. Here in the blue team, it is Suomi, and there is Vaiksu on Rexar, MXD on Falstad, Folk W on Rexar, Hertua on the Lucio, and Surrey on Muradin.
And on the right side, we have Armwrestlers with My Elite playing Diablo, Sixi on Anduin, Patsko on Dahaka, Kankeli on Ragnaros, and Punisher 8000 on Tychus.
Yeah, let's see how these teams do, of course, looking at the level 1 talents. We have got Meatball build coming out from the Ragnaros. A little bit of extra range here, but Diablo does get booped around. We are warned about this, perhaps causing a few deaths for Diablo, as they will have no easy escape from it. But other than just charging on someone else, we just see a very little sort of aggression other than that Junkrat line.
Yeah, the blue team is much faster in terms of rotation.
Of
So
course,
the
having
bottom,
having that Junkrat really will help there a lot. But the red team rotating as 4 instead of just keeping a sort of 1-1-1 split with the Lucio and Muradin, enabling a little bit of delay here from that 4-man stack.
yeah, something to look into in the late game during team fights is I think Tychus grenade interrupting Muradin jump. Like at high skill, like if you can predict the jump with Tychus, you can basically kill a Muradin just with that, denying him his only mobility tool.
Of course, we're going to be expecting him to go into the Titan Grenade perhaps a little bit later. Maybe taking a little bit of extra percentage health off an Avatar Muradin, if Muradin does go for Avatar. It's probably what we expect, but maybe we'll see a little bit of more interesting, a little bit of a flank coming out here from the Tychus.
Yeah, meanwhile Ragnaros gets body blocked by Muradin in the mid lane and loses a lot of his HP to Falstad damage.
Yeah, so now level 4 being picked up here by the blue team.
Oh, we see Sledgehammer on Muradin.
Yeah. Oh, Junkrat is found in a little bit of a place, but the root does not connect here. The body blocks are great, and Junkrat does go down after the splash damage of that Q. But here we see a little bit of a focus onto the Anduin. Instead, though, Dahaka comes in, finds the stun with Diablo, and Falstad is the second one down. Armwrestlers are taking 2-0 up in this kill count.
Yeah, Falstad actually used his flight to join the fight. It was kind of too late for Junkrat, and in the end it was 3 versus 4. So Falstad died as well. Very unfortunate turn of events for the blue team.
And now we are seeing, that strength of just a couple of kills. It means that they can now push in nice and handedly to get the Dragon Knight as well with this pressure. Early Dragon Knight here, just less than 3 minutes. Won't be very strong, but perhaps will allow the red team to get a little bit of additional pressure, maybe in the top lane, maybe in the bot lane. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, the bot lane is actually significantly pushed in already by the red team. Diablo gets booped, but finds a Q onto Meridian, so he's able to escape.
Yeah, with this now, we do see a little bit of shredding away. And what more can we expect here? Level 7, of course, does bring us to the melting point on the grenade. That will help a lot in that rotation. But Ragnaros' quest is nowhere near to be completed, as he has just been off in the top lane, soaking away for the team.
And he's being currently ganked by Rexar, and is probably gonna die.
Yeah, it's a good pickup here for them. Oh, they just missed one auto attack, but it delayed the inevitable here. MXD and Folk picking up that crucial kill here for the Blues, as they still struggle to fend against a little bit of a bottom harassment from the 3-man of the Reds.
Yeah, full Meteor build actually for the Ragnaros. What else do we have? Trap build for Junkrat.
Yeah, so that's just going to be really annoying for the rotations of the blue team, of course, for the red team. If Junkrat gets these traps set up, having to avoid them, kite them around.
Yeah, so far the teams have turned their attention towards the bruiser camps. The Reds have already taken theirs, so they're free to rotate bot again. While the blue team only committed 2 people there, so they're still on the count. Arguably, it's actually better for the blue team now, because the red camp would be closer to the blue towers. So it would be easier to defend. Especially if the Haka pushes this wave right now, which he does.
Yeah, and that sort of, does mean that the blue team can try and clean it up, but there's still this pressure mounting, and there are a couple of XPs ahead on the side of the red team. Say a couple, it's 2,000, a couple of thousand XP. And if they can keep that lead, they'll get that level 10 a little bit earlier. But they're finding themselves in a little bit of a fight here. This is currently a 5 versus 4 just for the siege camp, but Muradin sneaks it almost expertly. Very well done here from them, causing little resources to be dropped from either team, but ultimately sneaking that siege camp when they need it most.
Yeah, we see a very asymmetric picture on the map right now. The blue team is pushing with Rexar in the top. We have a lava wave actually, counteracting this push a little bit.
A lava wave of all things, as well as an isolation, the lightning breath, and Commandeer Odin. Nothing to be unexpected here. On the other side of the blue, we do have the high 5. It is going to be the Avatar and the Mighty Gust. All the normal things I expect. We're going to see the Unleash of the Boars and the Riptire, but we'll wait and see. There's Riptire and Unleash the Boars. Yep, all fairly standard things apart from that lava wave.
Yeah, but the blue team actually finds a nick of time to take the Dragon Knight.
So, as we see now, it is going to be that blue team Dragon Knight. And they're using it as an opportunity to sort of push out the mid as well as reset that bottom lane, try and find their own little advantage here. They are definitely struggling, though, with some of these aspects of things. It is just the Junkrat, the Falstad. They're not the most strong damage dealers in the world. Whereas the blue team, they're using that macro pressure that Ragnaros and Tahaka have to just be overwhelming on the side of the Reds. So we'll have to wait and see what the blue team can do, because with that Dragon Knight, they didn't even get a tower. They got some sort of minion damage on the bot lane and a few light breaths in the mid. It really is definitely a tricky place to be.
Yeah, the game is actually looking very equal at the moment, even in structural sense. Yes, the red team has lost their wall in the top lane, half of the wall in the bottom, but the blue team doesn't have a wall at the bottom and half of the wall in the mid. 1 to 2 kills, almost equal experience, so it's anybody's game to take at the moment.
Yeah, and red team will be having a little bit of an advantage now. If they win a fight, they can pop that Commandeer Odin, but it looks like they are looking to try and focus down onto that Diablo. Dahaka burrows in. Are they going to be safe themselves? The Riptide boots them around. There's just going to be some light damage on the edge of things. Meanwhile, Ragnaros has completed that meteor, and still, you know, the structures are falling on the side of the blue team simply because the red team has this additional pressure.
Yeah, an interesting talent on 13 for Ragnaros, actually. I assume it's against Stormbolt and Nisha. He gets basically a free armor.
Gust comes out here against Diablo, I think because they were slightly concerned about the Junkrat being in danger. However, they didn't really trap the Diablo either. They're going to be trying so hard to get this Diablo even low. You know, with that Soul Shield on level 1, with the Hammerang on level 1 as well for Falstad. You know, there's a lot of spell damage, and that is why they've gone for sustained wins. So those auto attacks will be doing an additional 1.5 damage. But Rexar goes down in the mid. Good pickoff here for the red team, and now they can look to try and find something more.
Yes, the red team has a numbers advantage at the moment.
Avenge my husband. Earn his power and destroy.
Yeah, a bit of a
your
Junkrat
enemies.
boop here, though. There we see just, you know, the Riptide not doing a lot, barely scratching Diablo simply because of the Soul Shield.
Exactly. Like it almost looked like it healed him.
So, as we see here, oh, there's a little bit of a gank on Falstad in the mid lane. Sorry, just trying to peel on the back. Trying to split this red team up because blue team just aren't quite finding the strength they need in this Division 1 Grand Finals.
Yeah, the third objective is up, so the teams are finding a way to get an advantage in one of the lanes, kind of rotating back and forth. We see a 3 versus 3 in the bot lane.
Yeah, and the blue team do pick up the shrines, but it looks like it's going to be not enough to do anything there. Falstad is just sort of hearthing, waiting for the time being, while Rexar dances with Dahaka. Now the red team, they did get this bottom shrine. They do have the siege minions as well, but the mine here from Junkrat has been incredible, but it's not quite found the Diablo. Diablo flips over Druid, and they're able to get away. The lightning breath comes out, just tickling onto the backside of the dwarf, and the dwarf on a bird. Not anything further here for the red team, though, after using that lightning breath.
The red team is really close to level 16. I'm not sure if they should play as aggressive as they do, but they find Rexar now.
Yeah, unfortunately the high five not quite connecting quick enough here to keep him out of full danger. Now the damage over time is there to perhaps do some damage, but Volt W is safe. And they look to try and get the Dragon Knight, but it's taken back the Sun Shrine on the top by Dahaka. Blue team are starting to wake up as level 16 is coming around for everybody. We've got the double pull for Anduin. That's going to be keeping everyone safe. That Titan Grenade to do a little bit of additional damage, as well as the Tunneling Claws. Really as well, we've got to pay attention to the Debilitating Flames. That'll be helping keep Diablo alive even further as it reduces the damage and just slows the enemy team, perhaps finding an easier engage.
Yeah. From now on, like, the blue team would deal even less damage if they would be affected by Diablo Ws. So killing him would be a problem, I would say.
Yep, for certain here. They're looking to try and harass him and get a little bit of damage there. Ragnaros is doing this bottom bruiser camp, but with 16, the blue team are looking to try and pick something up. But can they try and find themselves, get that get that center shrine? Now, Red have taken over. Lava Wave comes out, really stopping this push in the top. Even though Rexar is looking to try and take down the first fort of the game in the top. Meanwhile, the Reds are looking to take down the fort in the bottom. It's going to be a forward trade here. I'm not sure really who wins out. The Gust is an option if MXD so wants it, but the fort goes down. And now it looks like Diablo gets the flip. The boop is there to stop anything there, but so is the Gust. It's just pushing people around. There's not a lot going on here as Ragnaros tries to come in, but the stun is great from Surrey. Can they find anything more? Can they find damage onto Punisher? They do a little bit, but it's going to be Mai who goes in. They get the flip onto Lucio, and Lucio does go down, but Punisher falling a little bit lower. The shields come out. Out comes Diablo. Diablo does indeed get slain, but out comes Ragnaros. Ragnaros, there's a little bit of HP on Muradin, but it disappears. Meanwhile, Dahaka was able to get a solo kill on Rexar after a great pick-off here for the Blues. It has fallen apart and the red team have taken 3 casualties onto the blue side.
Yeah, this might be the turning point of the game.
Absolutely, you know,
It
these
was
death
very
timers
equal
aren't
until
decent.
now. So now the red team potentially gets the objective number 4. And would perhaps get a structural advantage of a more significant sort.
Yeah, so there we see center fort taken down almost incredibly quickly. Looks to the top as well. Falstad has to be a little bit in danger. Will be flying away. There's no CC on the side of Ragnaros with this lava wave to stop him. But they do just have to give up this top fort as the Dragon Knight shreds through the HP of it. Nicely opening the map here for the red team.
Yeah, they certainly have an advantage, but now the blue team engages.
Yeah, and actually, MXD flying sort of away, so worried about it, but they could have gone in for a little bit of a gust. They are now gusting away, but Falk is in dire trouble, and the damage just from the Titan grenade just finishes them off. The blue team having to run with the tail between their legs as level 20 is now here for the red team. What are they going to be picking up? It's not going to be the double lava wave. It is going to be the heroic difficulty. So really trying to use as much as they can out of that trait from Ragnaros.
Yeah, if Tychus picks, and he does actually, big red button, it's some insane siege potential. Like if you use heroic difficulty, the molten core on the enemy keep, and you press the big red button.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't just push the button now, and there it is. It's
they
popping
do.
up. And they can look to try and get this. They do have 1 catapult. This is a great time for it as well. Having that catapult back you up, just trying to defend that. MXD is going to be looking to clear it, but Mai is looking to try and get something. Catapult's still alive for now. Very low down. Gust comes out, perhaps a little bit late. Not quite in tune with what's happening here in the match. But remember, this is the first of a best of 5. The blue team looking to try and get that defense. They've mounted a little bit onto Mai here, trying to find something, but the stun comes out onto Muradin. Muradin has had the high 5 pop. Out comes the Riptide, puts down a lot of damage. Diablo does go down, and they are going to be respawning. They had 100 souls, but a nice little kill here, 19 to 20, and the defense of your keep is exactly what the blue team will have wanted.
Yeah, they probably tried to kill the mid keep and use the molten core on it because it was available. It's off cooldown, but ultimately they've lost the team fight. They've lost Diablo.
So we have it come down to this now. Level 20 to level 21. The blue team, they have a little bit of a spring in their step. They can try and do something here as they equalize the lanes back out. High 5 upgrade, Riptire upgrade, the Mighty Gust upgrade, as well as Rewind for Muradin.
Yeah, no Boris upgrade though. We have the auto attack talent for Rexar.
No upgraded for. It's just going to be that Frenzy of Kalimdor. Kalimdor?
Yeah.
Kalimdor. Yes, sorry, I can't read today.
And also the auto attack talent for Anduin actually. On level 20.
Yes. So auto attacks all around, both sides here. No upgraded light bomb. Just going to be sustaining themselves a little bit there. What's for the holes on the overlay? It is for the health bars of the core. Kex, you'll soon find out once one of the core goes on there. So there we see Ragnaros going in here. Out comes there, but a nice mine from Junkrat means that they're interrupted at the last second.
The molten core is still up. They can save this fort if they want to.
Yeah, but out comes the Mighty Gust, pushing everyone away. The Rip Tower is used, but that's instantly reset. It is only that wind tunnel that is the resource being used here.
Yeah, and if that Riptide hit the fort, it would have actually died, but so far it lives on 120 HP.
Cool, that's sneezing HP, that is.
Yeah.
Junkrat will look to try and find a bomb at some point in the game, but it is not urgent right now. All that matters is they keep this Dragon Knight away from the hands of the red team. They're actually going to sacrifice some of the channel at the top here, just so they can make sure that Falstad gets out. Misha is sacrificed, but Sari is in a little bit of a trouble here. They're going to be spotted by these minions, dismounted as well. He might have to pop his rewind just for that, but no. Well played here by Sari. They found the angles, and they've got the Stormbolt hit.
Yeah, speaking about the damage, we have Tychus on par with Junkrat, both having almost 60,000. Actually, Tychus has a little bit more, basically 60,000 both.
Yeah, this is not a high damage game. There's not been a lot of trading here. But when there has been fights, it has been those two doing the majority. And of course, Junkrat's Riptire on the 5-man will have helped a lot with getting Junkrat in the right place for it.
Yeah, he has the reset talent on level 20.
Yeah, so I think, you know, this is very tense now for both teams. They know that this is one team fight away from going one way or the other. The red team have the tools, of course. They have big red button, but with the Dragonite up, it's a scary prospect. The blue team could just start shelling down these structures.
Yeah, we see Dihaka capturing the top shrine, but it's Dihaka, of course. He can rejoin the team fight whenever.
Yeah. And we see here the blue team once again pushing in. They get that fort. There's a little bit more space here. Sorry, looking to try and find something. Does leap in, but Maya's here on the back, as well as the lava wave coming out. Out comes the mighty gust, making sure that Diablo can't find anything. And the blue team are going to be in full retreat. Volk in a little bit of trouble. Out comes the high five. High five, of course, reduced cooldown because of that. Out comes the Hellgate, but the route is beautiful here. Although the blue team are on full retreat, they get away unscathed.
Yeah, and it turns out that Molten Core was basically wasted. It's, I mean, they have a cooldown reduction on 20, so...
Sorry, in a little bit of trouble here. Out comes a big dwarf leech leap? Dwarf launch?
Dwarf
Keeps
toss?
them safe.
It's Dwarf Toss, yeah.
It is dwarf toss, but with a level 16 talent. It's a dwarf launch, I like to say, anyway. But as we see here, the red team, they're in a little bit of trouble. The blue team definitely have the momentum right now. So they have found where they want to be, but sooner or later, red team will just say, right, we're going to pull the trigger and we're just going to use our heroic abilities on these forts, try and find something.
Yeah, so far, the red team groups in the mid lane, while the blue team takes the bottom bruiser camp.
Yeah, they've got a bruiser, they've got a siege. It is being cleaned up here by the red team, so it looks like blue team are making a play, perhaps for the Dragonite. As Surrey has come to defend against Miley. But, oh, the gust comes out, but it is not isolated Ragnaros. Ragnaros is able to get into the fort. And although Molten Core is used, perhaps not the way that the blue team wanted. Perhaps they didn't want to try and push in here. Unfortunate circumstances, but perhaps it has just evened up the exact thing here. Oh, Hetua is a little bit of trouble having to use high five. Maybe they get away. They do indeed, getting the boost off the wall.
Yeah, Lucio is hard to catch.
He's a slippery, slippery boy here as Rexar and Misha are getting that top shrine.
We don't have a boombox, by the way.
We don't. But
Yeah.
we are in a very stalemate position here right now, aren't we, Jim?
Yeah, sure. You can almost feel the nervousness, like it's the grand final. Rexar gets caught, but is able to walk away. For now, I should add, because Diablo is still hunting.
Yeah, Rexar has his plays dead, does in fact do it, and now they're looking to try and put the pressure onto my butt. Without Junkrat, they don't feel like they can do an admirable job. It is going to be Surrey who's scouted up by Dahaka. They have to be careful here. They might get licked onto, but no, they hold that thing. Oh, MXD, a little bit of trouble. The slow is there. The two are having to heal them up with that music, but MXD is falling lower and lower to these Ragnaros meeples. You do need to be careful as the damage will eventually get them. You know, the HP does only scale so much. Oh, it's a beautiful lick here from the backsuit. Junkrat is definitely going to go down. No, they get healed. The gust is incredible, as well as the high five. Such good coordination here coming out for the blue team, making sure that people stay up. Sorry, on the side of things, though, is able to mount up as well, but Diablo not finished just yet. MXD falling lower and lower, and out comes Ragnaros. Molten Core, can they find something? No, they don't. It
No.
is only Misha, but the red team certainly have all the space in the world, and they should, and they do, because they send Dahaka bot with the burrow to try and get this Dragon Knight, and it's going to be Diablo picking it up in the middle. The blue team can do nothing. And I say they do nothing, but MXD flies in, manages to get the interrupt.
Insane play from Falstad.
Yep, he's going there, but there's a tongue, there's a bash here, and Surrey is a little bit of trouble, but the Junkrat's tire is interrupted by Dahaka, by his burrow, level 4 talent, and it keeps them alive right now. The red team's still buying so much space here because the blue team is just getting bullied around by this Ragnaros meatball, as well as the Tychus shredding that front line.
Yeah, but in the meantime, I think it was Junkrat who channeled the bottom shrine, so the Reds don't have the objective anymore. On tap, so to speak. You have to reclaim the bottom shrine first.
There is not that pressure here right now, but it's soon going to happen once again. Viksu steps up. Oh no. Okay. Booping away. I was so worried there. If Mai had their Hellgate, it would be a desperate problem. But look, they're trying to put the pressure on here, but Mai is just standing on their point. They have a lot of sustain, of course. They have the complete thing, but actually Dahaka didn't channel the objective. I thought they were just stalling for the objective, but no, Dahaka was with them rather than staying back and channeling the Dragonite. Now out comes Ragnaros trying to find something. The multi-core damage is good, and MXD is in a little bit of trouble. Out comes the high fives, trying to make sure that speed is there, trying to make sure that the slows don't affect them too much. Sorry, in a little bit of trouble as some escapes. They do manage to get away.
Yeah, same plays by both teams actually. Like it's been like, I don't know how much, like maybe 7 or 8 minutes without any kills, but all these team fights are so close.
A last second Stormbolt there from Muradin, keeping the Dragonite beam from being channeled. Literally pixels in it right now, Jim.
Yeah, at some point we'll be at the Winian zone, where like the top lane, which is heavily pushed by the red side, would start killing the keep on its own.
Yeah, I mean, the keep has been slowly going down. Of course, you know, though, this is going to happen. Junkrat booms themselves into the mid game, and it just feels like a matter of time. But what are the blue team even playing for?
I don't know, a lucky team fight perhaps.
Oh, has the stream just gone down? Okay, we're okay. Out comes a lightning breath, and Falstad does a beautiful roll away, but it just gets catches onto the bottom here.
Destroyed a fort.
Red team, they are indeed doing a fantastic job.
Muradin is stalling the objective though. He's reclaiming the bottom shrine, and the red team has to rotate there to reclaim it again. Meanwhile, Rexar is trying to take the top shrine.
Yeah, and they will just be playing that Ring Around the Roses. As I said, they are surviving right now, but they are not thriving. And it's a beautiful route onto Sorry, that's 10 seconds until Avatar. It's a kill onto Muradin.
Yeah, but both shrines are controlled by the blue team, so the red team cannot pick the Dragon Knight and end the game, even if they wanted to.
Still, 2 keeps gone down. Thanks to Dahaka just pushing out the lanes, just taking it. There's so much damage coming out of these heroes. This big red button still has half of its time on there. They do take down that bottom keep. Eventually, these catapults have nothing more to focus on.
End? They're trying to end just with Odin.
They have it. They have, of course, Molten Core if they really wanted to use it as well, but it's just going to be the pressure. Falstad flies, maybe looking for a gust play. Finds it onto Anduin, but it's going to be causing themselves some death, maybe. No, Anduin stays alive for now as well. Falstad is the one that goes down. Atua as well goes down as well. This has got to be the end. Armwrestlers will be taking game number 1 for us here on Dragonshire. DustyJim, it's been a fantastic game.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
Still, another kill comes out. Red team really putting their place here, saying, look, we are bullying you in this game 1, and we are going to take it. GG, well played.
Indeed. Come on, Josh, add 1 to the counter.
GG. What a game number 1 we had there. Armwrestlers and Suomi really giving everything they have. But
yeah,
it was very close as Armwrestlers make it out ahead in the end. Did a nice team fight there. But let's see as Suomi, they now have the choice between map pick and first pick.
Okay, yeah, actually, I feel like indeed the blue team didn't really have enough damage to deal with this super heavy front line of the Reds, right? With the double bruiser, with Diablo, with basically infinite HP. So,
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a tough thing. That is the thing, you know, when you have Junkrat, when you have Falstad, those are two sort of slightly off damage dealers. And it is a tough place to be if you think that you're going to just get away scot-free with things. You know, they were controlling the map eventually, but it's just not enough. Not in the sake that Ragnaros and Dahaka could deal with. That lava wave really did actually put a bit of a spanner in the works here for Suomi.
Yeah, I feel like especially the Diablo, like not being able to kill Diablo this game was a huge issue for Suomi. Armwrestlers, like me on the Diablo, he's just spamming W and getting damage going onto the opponents. Very, very well done by him there in this game, really pressuring them. But let's see, as for game number 2, we're gonna see 3 lanes again, because BOE is not picked apparently so far, but we do have Towers of Doom being chosen by Suomi as they decide to go for map pick, and therefore we do have the first pick in the hands of Armwrestlers on Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, yeah. So, as we get into it, this is going to be another close one. I'm almost certain of it. Of course, you can't stall out the game quite like Dragonshire. You know, it will come down eventually to some sort of play. But wow, what a game number 1 to kick off this best of 5. You know, Armwrestlers certainly looking very strong here. But Suomi, I believe in them as well. I believe if they find what they want, they can do something. You know, we'll have Hogger banned out again, but will Dahaka be let through, or will it be picked up here? Of course, Sammy, did you say that they gone first pick? No, they went for map pick.
Suomi went
Yes,
for map
yeah.
pick.
Ah,
So they really want to play
very
the map.
interesting.
We really want to play the map and see what they can do to the opponents on the map.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. What are you expecting here, Jim, on this
well,
map?
I gotta say, I didn't expect the result we saw in the previous game in the first place. Like, I thought the Suomi were the favorites, like, given their performance during the season. They're number 2, and Armwrestlers are number 8. So there's a bit of a performance gap during the season, but then again, we see how Armwrestlers play. They actually want to win. So it's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, sometimes it can be all down to just sort of how you feel right at the end, trying to make something big happen. But, you know, not always something you can always do, but, you know, picking it up right at the end of here. Let's see what Armwrestlers can do, of course, you know, and they really did come out so hard in game number 1, controlling it so much.
Yeah. So we'll see if any sort of respect bans will come out, judging on the previous game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see that. Of course, you know, we had the Brightwind ban with our Hanzo ban as well. I'm expecting to see similar stuff here from Armwrestlers. But what do Suomi want to do? Are they wanting to get rid of that Diablo that seemed so terrifying as well from Mai?
Indeed, let's see. Towers of Doom, of course, pick map. Usually my favorite map for the Haka. Maybe we're gonna see him pop up here or there in this draft again. This Patsuko on the last game had some really nice moments, especially with the race car build being very annoying for the Junkrat trying to stand in the bush and then just hitting him away very hard. But of course, always there's other heroes making shine here on the offlane. Rex are not so good. Usually you want to have something double soaking, so Leo, Zul, Sonya, Hogger, and maybe even the Vikings or something along this might make an appearance. But of course also in the format, looking there, having a lot of range poke to stall those objectives. Let's say Chromie, Junkrat again, for example. Hamlo with his Vision Arrow, a lot of good tools to stall your opponents from taking this objective and delaying it in your favor.
In terms of the offlane picks, the Suomi seems to prefer, like, their top offlaner picks are Hogger and Blaze, whereas for Armwrestlers, it's
But yes, of course. So Towns of Doom, first pick this time being Armwrestlers. Now that offlane may get sort of delayed a little bit later unless that Blaze is let through. I'm thinking that we're going to see that be a higher priority in this draft, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it.
Towers of Doom. They've played it 5 times during the season. Whereas Armwrestlers played it also 5 times, but only 40% win rate. So perhaps the blue team is confident in their skill on this map in particular. That's why they picked it.
Tahaka being banned out. Yeah, we did expect that a little bit.
He's just way too good on the map. He's just way too good on the map to not. Yeah. Definitely not biased here, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. You know, especially after the Game 1 performance, you don't want to be letting them have a premium hero like Tahaka here on Towers of Doom.
And Genji gets banned.
Indeed, so does the Anduin being removed. No Genji Light Bomb, but no Light Bomb in general as well.
And Dunban is kind of interesting. So they let Brightwing and Junkrat actually to be potentially picked.
Yeah, not to forget Blaze here as a potential. You know, the Blaze has been picked so consistently in the top leagues. You know, we didn't see it last game. We saw it banned out. So I do wonder if that's going to be something that is prioritized here for Suomi, or if they look for something else. But it's going to be that Brightwing Diablo. You know, Diablo is that focus of these teams, and Brightwing, as you've mentioned, big priority as well.
Yeah, so the blue team actually got literally their top picks during the season, Diablo and Brightwing, picked 11 times both. And the red team got their Junkrat 12 times picked, also their top pick during the season.
Yeah, and Brightwing Diablo also a very good combination. Having this big health bar being healed up by Brightwing helps him a lot with sustaining. But looking on the outside, we do see Malfur and Stitches coming in, so kidnap combo it is. Immediately getting denied by Suomi, not wanting to extend this combo even further from the side of Armwrestlers. There is a hook into Gorge, into Malfur and Root, and Trap from Junkrat as well.
Yeah,
That's
not only would it be the kidnap combo itself, but Malfurion and Junkrat are the heroes who are frequently picked as a counter to Medivh. So if they're both taken away, then you don't have anything to counter the portals, right?
It's very true, very true. Falstad is now picked up here, so no Gust shenanigans coming out from MXD this time. However, there are still plenty of heroes available to be played. Against Malfurion and Stitches, they're going to have a little bit of a think. You know, they want something mobile or perhaps something aggressive just to get in there, make sure nothing happens. And Imperius is a good start, and so is Tracer.
Yes.
Very interesting to see Imperius coming in, actually. That he kind of lacks wave clear.
So my reasoning, I think...
Go ahead.
Is that they're going to be having that Tracer sort of in that mid lane and popping up top as well as bot. So it's going to be a much sort of different style of play. It's not going to be that double soak that we see in the off lane. It is going to be a much more, it's up to the Tracer's responsibility to harass the top lane.
Yeah, just as well, it might be a 4-man Imperius. Like, Imperius as a damage dealer. And we might see a Bruiser right now. Like, Blaze is still up, for example.
I guess we don't have any wave clear in the 4-man, then it's the issue.
Well, that's true, yes.
On the other side, we see Leo and Tychus coming in. Leo very strong in terms of double soaking, so he's definitely going to bring in the wave clear for a set of Armwrestlers, while they also have Junkrat and Tychus, which do a pretty good job. And Tychus is really good at drilling down those targets after getting hooked and kidnapped by the Stitches for the Armwrestlers. And there we go, Suomi last picking Jaina, fixing the wave clear problem in the format at least.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing to pick into Tychus as well. If you can slow down Tychus, Diablo can move around a little bit more, and try and punish the Tychus as soon as they get into range. So it works well, especially Imperius can do a follow-up stun or just go for the stun after the slow of the Jaina. So they're really looking to try and blow someone up very quickly, especially with this Imperius Jaina pickup. Once again, Samu, which way are you favoring?
I think it's really rough for the side of Suomi to really play the map, as they're just lacking a lot of wave gear in the draft. And on the other side, we do have Armwrestlers with the Stitches. He's going to come in and just scam the opponents out of the victory. So I think Armwrestlers gonna take it 2-0 here, and maybe we're gonna see some reverse sweep coming up from Suomi though. But let's see how this game goes. Take it away, Transparent Energy.
Yeah, once again, we're here back. Game number 2 in the Division 1 Grand Finals of Season 19. And in the blue, we do have Suomi with Surrey on Diablo, Viksu on Jaina, Folk W on that Imperius, MXD on Tracer, and Hertua on the Brightwing.
And on the right side, we have the Armwrestlers currently leading 1-0 in this best of 5, with Can Kelly playing Junkrat, Sixi on Malfurion, Fatsku on Leoric, Miley on Stitches, and Punisher 8000 playing Tychus.
So here we see a big root already coming out. Brightwing having to use that soothing mist, but everyone is fairly still alive here for the side of the blue team, apart from Diablo, who's falling lower and lower. They're trying to find something, but no, a lot of health bars traded here. But no, the Tigers finds the grenade after a big old throw here. That quarterback coming in really, really handy already for Punisher 8000.
Yeah, and Malfurion actually still haven't picked their level 1 talent. Like, I was looking at it and like, why aren't they sleeping after the root? Apparently the player has forgotten to pick it.
Well, either you want the sleep, or maybe you want a bigger root, or maybe you want
The broccoli.
a broccoli. Those are the 3 options. Those are the 3 options. And Hertua might be in a little bit of danger, but Surrey is here to do a bit of peeling and charges and then just rotates. Very, very casual there from Diablo.
Yeah, we have Tracer ganking Leoric in the top lane.
Oh.
Actually barely survives. Uses
Yeah.
recall just in time to like dodge the Q from Leoric.
Yeah, and now it will be up to Folk to clear the mid lane a little bit, as Tracer has to rejoin the team, as Jaina as well starts onto this siege camp. 5 globes already from Stitches, by the way. That's a pretty decent amount to have.
We have the infinite stacking.
And it is Emerald Dreams, so from Malfurion, which definitely does make sense, having that sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you can land a hook on a sleeping target, easy peasy. There's your engage.
Yep. Well, or the other way around, of course, the hook into the sleep as your damage perhaps rotate and get ready for it all. So here we see level 4s already round as well. And Tracer is going sort of into that leeching round build, as well as having the auto attacks a little bit extra range. They're looking to put a bit of harassment on. Of course, the bomb is not fully scaled up just yet. Miley also having a little bit of a problem landing these hooks on these dodging targets like the Tracer, but it's going to be a little bit tough here for the blue team, as it's going to be absolutely up to Jaina to clear these waves, just like Samu said. But there's a good engage here onto the back of the Punisher. If they're not the target, they are the ones going back, and the roots are there to try and land onto the Tracer. Good roots here, but ultimately a good cleanse from Brightwing means that Jaina is the one that goes down instead of Tracer.
It was ultimately a 3 versus 4 in favor for the red team, because Diablo has started rotating topside to pick up the objective.
Yep, and there is going to be the first channels here coming out here. The red team getting 2 altars, the blues getting 1. A slight lead here for the reds, but don't count them out just yet, as of course once level 10 comes, it's a whole different ball game, and the later it goes on, Tracer is going to become more and more powerful.
It seems like it's gonna be a Q build on Diablo, by the way, so W shenanigans this time.
No W shenanigans. Of course, they are looking for that more instantaneous blow up. The hook lands onto the Tracer. Tracer does recall. They're going to be able to get away for now. Have a little bit of a spell shield on them. They have to avoid these Tychus grenades. Of course, Tracer doesn't have a lot of HP, so really does need to be avoiding these big damage abilities like the Tychus grenade, as well as just, you know, the slow peppering down that it's going to be getting from the rest of the team.
Yeah. This time
Tychus actually.
Yeah, defensive is level 7 for Tychus.
Yeah, as they are, you know, perhaps fully aware of the blow up from the side. You know, that's going to be the 30 armor there from being stunned or rooted. And if they get stunned by Imperius or Diablo, that's going to help them a lot with surviving. Diablo goes in now. Is going in this time onto the Tychus, as they should do. And the Junkrat is the one that's being taken out by the backline here from the Imperius. This is what we expected. Punisher, a little bit of trouble, but it's going to be Malfurion as the targets are switched over. This time, Punisher now getting targeted by the Tracer. Much more of a show here coming out from Suomi.
Yeah, it was a very impressive team fight. Basically a 5-man wipe.
It is indeed. Yeah, well done here. You know, coming into the front, but also from the back. And that is what you expect from the Imperius. You know, you're going to lose out on the macro, but those team fights are just so much more powerful. And Jaina is going to take this bottom shrine to even up the core HP.
And now the blue team is in a really good spot. They're more than a level ahead, almost level 10 at this point. And they're looking to pressure this bottom 4. Actually, it's a keep, right? Technically.
It's a bell tower. I believe it's neither a keep nor a fort.
It gets upgraded to like the keep proper after like 14 minutes. Then if you kill it, it actually gives you instant XP. So it's
all a bit
like
funky.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, level 10 just around the corner now for the blue team. So as we see now, it is a case of, are we going to see a lot of things? Now, we don't have Ring of Frost. We do have that Apocalypse as expected, as well as Angelic Armaments, Summer Watermelon, and Pulse Rounds. So they're looking to get more bombs out, and not sort of anything as slow.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting the Kidnap on Imperius to potentially counteract the Gorge. Like, if you get gorged, you can, like, potentially, like, jump over a wall and save yourself, or if somebody else gets gorged, you can still kidnap Stitches, actually.
Yeah,
you closer to your team.
Of course, as soon as you kidnap Stitches, your friendly ally pops out of Stitches' big belly. But yeah, we see a little bit of harassment at the top, and that is sort of what we expected. Tracer bid to be the one harassing around the map, but with that, there has been a little bit of a time at the bottom. We do have Gorge, we do have the Rocket Ride this time, so looking for a little bit more.
Rooted during a team fight, then you can rooted by Mal, then you can just rocket right on top of them.
Oh, Tracer, a little bit of trouble. It's going to be out on the side, but out comes Imperius. They come onto the side. They don't have the Angelic Armaments just yet. They popped that just now. They're looking to try and find something still. This Water Elemental helping slow down, but out comes the Gorge right after Angelic Armaments. They've also popped the Tychus Odin. Falk is almost definitely going to go down. And now the blue team, they might try and get a little cheeky channel here on the side. Sorry on the top here, trying to find the Junkrat. Does indeed find it. Gets the stumper. Sorry's going to be in trouble themselves. There's a Tychus with an Odin here popping on top. And that is going to be a dead Diablo. But still, the blue team get the altar channel through.
Yeah, technically Diablo was killed by Nexus forces. I believe it was the camp. So the pumpkins got their first blood this game.
To get some kills in the back line, and the blue team they're chasing down. Of course, Surrey doesn't have the HP, but they get the kill onto Tychus, and now they're going to be looking at 60. Can they find the kill? Can they find any sort of additional damage? But no, he just escapes too far. They're looking onto Stitches instead. They don't have percentage damage. They still have a lot of damage from the Imperius and the Tracer, and they do find it.
Yeah, with a tank like Stitches, it's very hard to do anything about Tracer. You basically have no peel whatsoever. Like, the best you can maybe friendly hook your teammate who's in trouble, but this time Stitches was far away in the front, so he couldn't do that.
So as we have it now, the blue team still need to play a little bit more aggressive, and they're trying to find it onto Kankeli, but they don't manage to. And it's going to be another 2 altar phase. So this may be either where the blue team keep their lead, or perhaps the Reds can try and find themselves into a bit of an equalization. Of course, level 13 is not yet here for them. That's going to be a big one for the Stitches fishing hook.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for the red team.
They're leaving Leoric top to just to soak. So for now, it is a 5 versus 4 in this bottom side. And they may try and interrupt the Tracer. Tracer fully aware that they might be in a little bit of trouble. But out comes level 13. They're now putting the damage onto Stitches. Stitches in grave danger. The Tranquility has to come out to try and keep them alive, but it's just the focus is now onto Malfurion instead. They get obliterated by the Angelic Armaments on the side of things. Oh, Jaina gets gorged. There's a lot of damage gone, but still you can't do it all, as Imperius and Diablo do just blow them up. Really well done here by the blue team.
Yeah, even without the percentage damage on Imperius level 1, they still have enough damage with Jaina.
So really well done, and now they're going to be looking to take this bell tower, and they're going to control it for as long as they can. They haven't had the Sapper camps in forever. The red team have been taking 2 of them, both of them, each time, but now the blue team certainly are in the momentum seat.
And speaking about the camps, they are almost both up. Like the right one is up, the left one is 2 seconds from being so. And speaking about damage, Tracer is actually the top damage in the game right now with 34,000. The next one is Jaina with 32. And after that we have Junkrat on the red side with 29,000.
Yeah, and you know, it is sort of showing, you know, Tracer has been just constantly harassing these heroes, really getting into that backline as well to make sure that damages count. And that is only going to go up here as we get to that level 16 talent for them, you know. They have Jumper from level 13, but what they go on level 16 will help them increase their damage in some form.
Yeah, Imperius and Tracer are the only ones who haven't picked up their talent yet.
Perhaps waiting for a surprise, perhaps waiting to see what gets picked on level 16 here for the red team. Not quite sure what they could be thinking, but they have a whole level lead. That's the,
I've had games where I haven't picked like 3 talents in a row. Just kind of forget to do that sometimes.
Now this is a bit of a danger zone here for the blue team, of course. If they get gorged, they can get gorged into the kill zone, but it just looks like they're looking to make space.
Tracer is completely alone, and I was like afraid for a second, but she could be gorged just by Stitches walking into the melee range. But it seems like she's fine for now.
So we're going to see channels from the side of the blue team and the reds, and it's going to be a full 10 shots onto the side of the red team core, and only 3 as well from Leoric's side channel. So the blue team firmly in the lead.
Yeah, the good thing for the red team is that they've been able to reclaim the bottom tower after all. So right now they've equalized the talents. Of course they aren't looking very good on core points, but it's still winnable, I would say, for the red team.
We have sizzling attacks coming out here for Tychus, so really focusing on that single target damage, as well as obviously being able to have Neosteel coating. So they're looking to try and take down anybody who gets into that Stitches Gorge. Tracer still yet to pick up their level 16 talent.
The blue team actually sneaks the boss.
But now they've gone for an engage, and the stuns on the back from Falk is so good as well. Mai keeps up here, but it's going to be Malfurion who goes down. Great focus from the Blues, being able to find that backline. That is exactly what you want your Imperius to be able to do, and now they just dismantle the rest. They dismantle the rest. They get a gorgeous route here onto the Punisher, but Punisher with Neosteel coating is going to be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, though, I think they tried to get Falk, but unfortunately...
The counter synergy, Junkrat booping Imperius, I believe, from the Entomb.
Well, I think they wanted to boop them into their base from the Entomb. I think that was what the plan was here, but now it is up to the red team to try and close out the game here. Can they get both of these altars and win the game? They don't have to. They've got plenty of time, of course, and they might just go for the trade. And it looks like that might be the case here, as the red team don't know what they're doing. They won't until that siege camp gets taken in the bot, and now they can know they can be a little bit more aggressive, perhaps.
Yeah, the red team still had 2 people respawning. No Fury and Stitches, I think. So they couldn't really contest the left altar anyway.
Yeah. So Stitch is just doing some scouting hooks as well, trying to find something, anything that will help them right now. But as the blue team, they get the pumpkins in, but unfortunately, that's not any more core points, and it's just going to be a bell tower that's annoying for now. The next altar phase are the 2 in the bottom though.
Oh yes, it is.
Oh, we have the Gorge. Comes out, they're looking for it on Imperius though. He's able to get off his angelic armament, and they look like the blue team are looking to take down the Punisher, and they do indeed. Out comes the rocket ride. Doesn't connect onto anyone, particularly the blue team looking handsome right now.
Yeah, the
Although
blue team almost at level 20. Looks like almost a checkmate, I would say, for the Reds. They have to fight a talent down, potentially with like a positional disadvantage because they can't really look for anything right now until Titus is up.
Good
They
dodge
do
here.
look
And Falcon in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a desperation for now as Armwrestlers. They took game number 1 very, very well. But this composition from the team of Suomi have been doing so well.
This is kind of a Stitches territory though. Late game, 1 lucky hook, you get a kill, you win a team fight.
It's hard to do as they only have 2 core points left. It's just left a little too late. The chaos will definitely benefit the blue team here.
Yeah, the Brightwing channels bottom altar and it's over.
They think it's all over. It is now. GG, well played as Suomi take game number 2.
GG, well played by Suomi there. Being very oppressive into the Stitches, making it really hard for him to really get that moment where he gets a nice hook and is able to kidnap him. But instead, whenever he's tried to step up and look for a hook or something, they just engage on him in really hard time staying alive and doing anything on the Stitches.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest problem for the red team was basically the inability to deal with neither Tracer nor Imperius. Like they could just walk in the middle of the red team and start killing people. So perhaps we'll see an Imperius or Tracer ban or a complete like rethinking of the team composition for the red side in the next game.
Yep. So with that, we are going to have first pick come out now as a choice for the side of Armwrestlers. So we'll have that next map pick. What maps have we even got left as we sort of think about it? We've got Infernal Shrines, Tomb of Spider Queen, Battlefield of Eternity, and Alterac Pass. What would we like to see here?
I mean, Suomi went for a little bit of a cheeky draft now in... Armwrestlers went for a cheeky draft in this game number 2, which did not work out for them. So I feel like Suomi can just get BOE or Shrines, say a normal draft, and they have a pretty good shot against Armwrestlers here.
Yeah, and you know, I liked what they did. You know, that Diablo seems to be so hotly contested. We're going to see what that happens as we got Tomb of the Spider Queen being the pickup here for the map. That's definitely a Diablo map if I've ever heard of one. And I wonder which team's going to be ending up with it. Is it going to get first picked even? Because we did see Suomi win against the Tychus, which is commonly considered a large counter for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more complex between Diablo and Tychus, because if Diablo engages on Tychus, he's having a really hard time due to Tychus' low range. But if you have enough lockdown to really lock down the Diablo, Tychus is one of the heroes which can actively kill the Diablo due to the percentage damage from his minigun. So whoever has the longer arm, or the longer arm in this moment, is able to get the advantage in that moment.
Yeah, and that is sort of what we saw a great advantage of Imperius, of course, catching up that backline, really making sure that Malfurion was targeted so quickly, or Tychus, before they could pop that Neo Steel coating. So very good play here from Suomi. We're going to have to see what happens in this next game on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Of course, if you're in the chat, I think there's a little bit more of an extra delay now, but which team are you cheering on, and what do you think we might see in game number 3 here between the two teams? Interested to see what might happen. Of course, maybe you're thinking about signing up for Season 20, because Season 20 is coming out next year, of course, and the signups are open if you want to get involved in Heroes Lounge. It's a great time to start signing up. We're going to have an extended map pool. There is going to be Samu's weekly ARAM tournaments. I'm just announcing that for you now, Samu.
Okay,
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
And a few other little surprises up there. Of course, there will still be the Nexus Rumble, but we've got plenty of stuff coming out in a blog post either tonight or tomorrow night. So yeah, as our teams are filtering into that map lobby, what would you like to see, Jim, in this game?
I don't know. Like, as you said, the red team has tried something, it didn't work, so maybe they have some other ideas on potential team compositions. Or they still, I mean, it's a decent map for Stitches as well, so maybe they try it again. I don't know. Might as well. This is, though, the most picked map by Suomi, so they probably have an idea of what they're gonna do here. So they picked it 8 times during the regular season, and they have 66% win rate on it.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can carry that on, of course. You know, having first pick on this map, I'm not quite sure if it gives you a huge advantage compared to some other places, but you definitely, we are seeing that priority of the Diablo come out, of the Junkrat as well. That'll be something. Well, we have yet to see Blaze. I'm still thinking that Blaze has got to come out sometime sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it could be Blaze, could be Hogger as well. This is
There
one of
we
the
go.
best maps for Hogger, probably.
Well, he's not been picked up. Hogger probably could be the ban for the next ban after this. They may not be thinking Jahak is too much of an issue, so I expect Hogger to be the ban here for Suomi.
Or it could be Anduin, just like they did in the last game. I mean, Anduin ban right now.
Indeed, let's see. But for now, of course, Diablo is a big issue, but no. Savanas is going to be the ban here by Suomi. So looking pretty similar to the bans like game 1 we had, except for Hawk instead of the Blaze.
And there you go.
He's getting picked up here by Armwrestlers, that first pick.
Yeah, let through here by Suomi. Is it going to be their downfall, of course, or have they got some sort of plan for it? They've banned it so consistently throughout the season, or 15 times. Is this Hogger going to do a lot? But they have managed to bag themselves both the Junkrat and the Diablo, perhaps exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, Diablo looking pretty strong in the last 2 games so far. Not the best matchup into Hogger, as he gets the percentage damage Q on level 16. Still pretty decent, they both ignore each other usually, more or less, and more looking at the other one's backline. As we have Armwrestlers picking up Leo Stukov, Silence and Tomb at level 10. With
Uther ban? Is that for potential Genji Tracer again?
I rather think they're worried of Armwrestlers picking up that Uther and then pair it up with a Vala Hypercarrier or something like that. As they already have Leo and Hogger to really create a lot of space, take over the wave clear.
Cruiser on map 1, and they've got the victory, so maybe they wanted to try it again. So yes, like Vala would make sense as a hyper carry with a tank.
Yeah, with Lucio Bando as well, we are seeing some support lockdown as well as cleanse sort of lockdown here. There's not a lot happening, so it could be Rexar being that sort of one who obviously has the purge available. if they desperately need that, but it's going to be Anna instead and Mephisto. Certainly one of Anna's sort of more accessible maps. It's very hard to collapse straight around the flanks on Tomb of the Spider Queen, so Anna can safely be picked up. And Mephisto is an absolute powerhouse and definitely can be used to great effect. Let's see what this team of arm wrestlers are going to be doing to try and battle this Mephisto.
Especially with the Nano Boot, Mephisto looks really scary here.
Yeah, I mean, do they just go Stitches to Gorge again? They do.
They do, actually.
And the Val as well.
So, what
'Cause
do you
with
have
that-
as your offlaner here? What do you have as your offlaner?
Leo.
That's the question.
For this
Leo is already taken.
Armwrestlers, what is Suomi gonna look at? They could look at Imperius again or something like that. Like Tomb, yes, it's the
Yeah.
wave clear map. Actually, they kinda have to pick some wave clear. Leo is gone. Maybe Earl is up. The Haka as well.
It's going to be Artanis.
Yeah, that's like the antithesis of wave clear.
Yo, Josh,
no.
where are you?
Hey, this is fine. This is fine. His time has
fine.
come. He is going to be clearing those waves with the Q, as well as just auto attacking till the cows come up against Leoric, swapping people back when they get gorged by Stitches. This is a superb pick here by Suomi, and I can't wait to see them execute it.
Well, it's certainly gonna be an interesting game. That much I can tell.
I don't. Do I have to make my standpoint clear about Tanis? Because I don't like him, and I really think Armwrestlers, they have a pretty good draft. The only thing working against them here is the Desert Mephisto on the other side against the triple melee comp. So it really comes down if they manage to get that Mephisto and take him away from his comfy spot, sitting there and just eating in and dealing damage, or if Nomi is just able to protect him and let him do his job against the triple melee. And 4 meters if you count the Stukov in. So let's take it away, Transparent, and DustyJim for game number 3.
So, without further ado, game number 3. It's 1-1, all tied up. Who is going to take the lead here? As we have in the blue, Suomi once again. So
Yeah, it seems like there is some problem. Like arm wrestlers have forgotten to swap their heroes, and they're asking for
well, that
a
was a
remake.
bit silly. But it does look like we are going into a remake here. I don't know who was swapping where. Yeah.
Leoric player says they don't play Leoric.
So I guess Leo and Hogger, I assume.
Perhaps. But we'll wait and see.
But yeah, I mean that was like the thing. I like the Ufer ban on the side of Suomi. I'm not sure though if it was needed, as they with the Mephisto in their draft, they kind of want them to go Ufer because Ufer doesn't do a lot against Mephisto, and therefore you just kill them. But on the other hand, like if you go up into the Ufer, he also has Divine Shield, and with 20 Divine Shield, he's really strong into Mephisto.
I'm actually. It seems like the blue team also wanted to pick Malthael instead of Mephisto.
Oh.
Like I'm reading the chat and it's kind of confusing to be honest. But I mean, Tormented Souls Nano Boost would make sense, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to go Malfoy for a Nano Boost. You have the Mephisto already.
So
Especially into this big melee combo. But there's also Stitches, of course, so you have to be careful. If you go in with the Tormented Souls Nano Boost, you just get gorged. And then the Nano Boost runs out, and then you come out as a sad little deaf person guy dude thing.
Yeah, so I think what happened is like the blue team like mistakenly picked Mephisto instead of Malthael, and then the red team have forgotten to swap. So since both teams kind of screwed up, they decided to remake.
Right. Well, of course, the referee will be the one who could have seen the chat during the draft, try to confirm anything that happened, of course. And we can just sort of get through it. Or we've got some people chanting away. We've got a different player coming in here, though. That's not quite correct.
Okay, we draft again until the Malphal.
Yeah. Poor old admin. Cool's wasn't in the team, were they?
I mean, they have 8 people on the team, so
Oh.
he might be on the roster.
They are on the roster of Armwrestlers, this is true.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if they should be. Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not an admin anymore.
The sub is not
It's
here
not?
anymore. So they had a sub in the first
Oh.
2 maps. And now Coolsa is here to take over, and they don't need the sub anymore. From what it seems.
So, Eric
Yeah, it
Swift
was-
may be needed to just come a little poke around and help out with the admins here, if you're listening. But there we go. Let's see how we do here, of course. Yeah, we are going to be having a remake of the lobby, it seems. Let's get this party started. See what's going to go on. Righty-ho. Remake Gamba. People are asking for a remake of Gamba.
Understandable, the draft was a little bit irritating, I would say, so. I think it would sound fair.
Okie dokie. So it is all going a bit crazy here in Heroes Lounge HQ.
But we are back in to Spider Queen, and we're gonna see some the same events coming out, at least in the first rotation, the same picks as before.
Yeah. So as we see,
Predict the Blaze ban. Look at me.
okay, I'm thinking they're going to respond with a Hanzo ban. Then it's going to be a Sylvanas ban. After that, Hogger. It's going to be picked up first pick.
I think it all could have been just a mind game to bring Kulza in for the red team. So they just stalled the draft, right?
Well, no, I
Yep.
think...
But it was the
if you
blue
look
team
at,
picking the wrong hero.
Yeah, it is all a bit crazy. Goodness knows.
Go
I think
Leo and
blue team
Stuka.
picks Ana here. Ana looks really good with this.
Yeah, but do they pick it with Mephisto or Malthael? That's the question for me. Like, I think both of those could work really well.
Indeed, let's see. I mean, I especially like the Mephisto into what we already see on Armwrestlers, because they either need a tank or an offlaner. The Mephisto would get a lot of value and resets into them. It's hard.
Are they remembering what they banned last time?
Yeah, it is
Lucio.
Lucio.
Yes, it was. Okay. So here we go. It's gonna be
Yes.
Mouthful Anna.
So from now on, we actually have a fresh draft.
Yeah.
Do we see Stitches Vala again, or will they swap up? Because into that Mouthful, I honestly really like the Stitches. It kind of has the same effect like Anu with his cocoon, to just take him out of the fight for the duration of the nano boost.
Yeah, but Anub is actually open.
Yeah, okay, we can just go completely crazy. It works as well, of course.
Oi. Double support Orphea. Let's
Is
go.
that- I guess that's main tank Leo then? Kind of?
Depends on how you look at it. It could be main tank Stukov.
Yeah, I think obviously, yeah, main tank Leoric can sort of work a little bit, especially into Diablo. I think Diablo and Johanna are the ones that are considered the ones where it works best into, of course. So we'll have to wait and see. But we have Gul'dan coming out as the last pick here. So this is a little bit better with the drafts. You know, no Artanis, sadly. and the Stitches Valor sort of coming in at the end of the other team.
But
Yeah, definitely.
Medivh into Junkrat Malfell? Oh.
It's all a bit funky for sure. It's all a bit funky.
I mean, I don't hate it. I like it actually. Like, these are some of the heroes you don't see all that often, especially in my lower divisions. Like, I never see Medivh. I very rarely see Gul'dan. Almost no Ana as well.
I mean, you don't see those heroes, but doesn't mean that there's a reason why. Cause like, Medivh is really bad into Malfell and Junkrat. Same goes for Diablo as well. They have no way of killing Diablo. I think this is a 3W for Suomi, kind of. I think they have a really good draft countering what the draft of Armwrestlers do, and they should. I feel like they should win this game number 3. Anyways, let's see how it goes. Just go, Jimmy, take it out. Take it away.
Right, here we go once again for this game number 3. 1-1, all tied up. Who's going to take the lead? It's going to be Suomi on the Blues. It's Surrey in Diablo. Folk W on Gul'dan. Vaiksu on Junkrat. MXD on Malthael. And Hertua once again on the Ana.
And on the red side, we have the Armwrestlers with Patsku playing Leoric, Punisher 8000 on Orphea, Kankeli playing Medivh, Miley playing Hogger, and Kulza on Stuko.
So let's finally see what these guys are going to get up to. Oh, the Junkrat gets spooked around. They do have their portal available, though. Diablo tries to find something on there, but Kelly gets away. But it's going to be Hogger who's getting their life sapped from them. Oh, it's a lot of damage going over to the red team, and we will just see more and more happen, including when we get to level 10, and that Nana boost. Tormented Souls will be coming out.
It seems like it's solo lane Leoric after all. He went to the bot lane. So it's a Hogger main tank, technically.
Yeah, but Punisher is putting out a lot of damage on this Orphea, so really trying to find something, but they do go down after just too much CC and displacement coming out from the blue team. First blood for them. It's going to be a little gem lead as well. Don't forget about those little gems. They all add up. They all add up, Jim.
Yeah. Gul'dan went into the old school corruption talent on level 1. So he's gonna look to stack it a bit before he goes for the 16 talent.
Of course, as healers go, Stukov's not too bad. Sorry, perhaps, not sure if they didn't notice the Leoric there, or they just were all just standing around having a good time.
I don't know.
Nicely done here from this team. As we see the bruiser camps being taken by the DPS and healers. But of course, Hogger helps no end in taking the bruiser camp for the red team a little bit faster.
Yeah, I just saw something I basically never see in my division. So Malthael actually have frozen the wave. It was just standing in minions, soaking the XP, not doing anything. Very interesting.
So right now it is back to that rotation. Kankeli is going to be doing a lot of scouting out on this Medivh. But we do see a Backbiter coming out from Orphea. Now this is where you start to see Orphea's build come in. So they are going for a little bit of a bitey build to dance around the enemy team. The sleep comes out onto Medivh. They're going to get booped away as well. And Surrey is going to try and push them away from their portal. And they do get the flips. And that's going to be a dead Medivh. Really well done. And Hogger goes down as well to MXD. Suomi starting to put on a little bit of a show here.
Yeah, Medivh has lost his stacks, which is very unfortunate. It's probably even worse than dying in general.
So now the blue team really putting in a lot of work, trying to make it all happen.
Yeah, they have a serious lead at the moment. They're a whole level ahead. They have enough gems to pay in, whereas the red team has lost a lot due to these deaths. And now it seems like they're gonna lose Leoric, which is another 17 gems. And no one is out there to pick them up. Orphea is rushing there, but they disappear.
So we see, as we see, level 7, that full sleep build coming in here for Ana. So really trying to do something. Sorry, once again, going for that Q build of Diablo. We see Trap this time coming here for Junkrat. So it's most likely going to be the Riptire. Not there, but another kill in the mid lane here. And Sorry's just dominating on this Diablo with the help of Vixu and Ana.
Yeah, Hogger thought he is safe near his fort, but Diablo just said, I don't care about your fort, I have 100 souls, I have infinite HP, and just dove him right under the fort.
Yeah, once again, he sleeps. Her is just landing them. You know, Ana is a great hero on this map, but sleeps is really what can make or break an Ana. They're doing such a good job. Meanwhile, Falk has been pushing in the top, trying to make sure that they get push in. Of course, no tank here means that it's kind of a little bit tricky sometimes to get some presence. Punisher trying to do their job on Orphea, but a fort goes down already with that first turn in. And still, the middle fort may go down as well, just from the damage.
Yeah, hybrid build for Junkrat this time. The W talent on 4, but the trap talent on 7.
Yeah, Patsku is in a little bit of trouble. Sorry, gets the flip as well, but they're able to get away. Kankeli now is rotating with the team.
The portal saves the portal and the shield from Medivh safely Oric.
So, portal here to try and find Vixu, but Vixu is able to get away. Sorry, coming in instead. Now it's the damage coming out. Punisher trying desperately to find that back damage, but Paxu is just falling low every single time, and with level 10 just around the corner, it's going to get even tougher for this red team. They've got so much space as well, and that's really nice when you've got the level 10 for Malthael. You know, that Tormented Souls having the space, the mobility to just chase down the enemy team. It's fantastic. So Riptide, Apocalypse, Nana Boost, Horrify, and...
I mean,
Torment.
he might as well go for the last rites.
I mean, you say that, but the Tormented Souls, I think, here, because
I mean,
they've
the
already
idea,
opened...
of course, yes. The Nano Boost Tormented Souls, but I wouldn't hate last rites either.
I mean, you've got Medivh, the Protected, against Last Rites, but it is going to be Tormented Souls. So yeah, using the space that they've created already with these early pushes. Really nicely stuff.
The red team needs still like 1/3 of a level to get to 10. Then maybe they can look for a fight.
Yeah, once they get that level 10, they'll have a few more tools and CC to maybe do something. It's what they're waiting for. The Entomb will really help set up a few things, but already the blue team are trying to get their gems paid in. They're just 6 away from getting a turn in. Sorry is the next one for it, and Gengeli knows this and will be loitering as Medivh, but perhaps they can try and find something with a leyline seal. But sorry, no, is going to get that turn in already. Blue team get their second turn in, and red just have to retreat.
Yeah, so we have a ley line and eternal feast, so no jaws for Fia.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Entomb into the Eternal Feast. So that's sort of the plan here. They keep that target in there, while perhaps, you know, the support or someone else is in the leyline seal can put out a lot of damage. Not to be underestimated as well, it's the Shockwave from Hogger. So they'll be looking to try and engage perhaps onto the Ana in the back with the Shockwave with the rest of the team. Watch out for the team of the Reds all being in the backline of the Blues, and then poor little Stukov being left alone to perhaps be slaughtered by MXD.
Yeah, the blue team is really close to level 13, so they're probably a little bit hesitant in terms of like pushing.
Because they want to try and open up
equal talents. Yeah.
some parts of the map. And that's why they're sort of pushing a little bit here, but you're right, they're just fleeing as soon as the red team rotate. That is the power of Medivh Leyline Seal as well. You can create some situations out of almost nothing.
Well, so far it hasn't been used. And Medivh is still on 13 stacks, by the way, on his baseline quest, which is not a whole lot.
It's not. But look, look, so much damage going on to Paxu here, and they do get the takedown. That's going to be 25 gems on the deck here as well for the red team. They don't even have enough for their first turn in until just now.
Yeah, that's actually the problem with Leoric specifically on this map. Like, you can't use your trait because you lose gems for this.
But, you know, the blue team, they're just getting more and more advantage. We have the stacks coming out from Devastating Charge. Purifying Darts here, so they're going to be removing roots and slows from the target. That's what they're worried about here. Slows, of course, being Leoric. And Stukov there. Sorry, they were entombed and they're still in these jaws and they're having to walk. They tried to walk through them, but they just get taken down. It's the first kill on the side for the Armwrestlers. Well done to them.
Yeah, that gives him a little bit of time to pay some gems. But of course Diablo is gonna be back since he had the souls. And there he is, already looking for an interrupt.
And they look
This
for
is
it.
the
They go
APOC.
APOC as well, really going in deep, and they're trying to get Punisher, and they do get it. The fact that Orphea went down there is huge. Miley able to get out there through the portal with 38 gems. It's a lot of stuff, but Junkrat is trying to harass. Is Vikes going to go for it? And Miley's already healed up now, thanks to a lot of the healing talents from Hogger, as well as, of course, Stukov's natural healing. So,
And now the blue team looks to take the boss. I would say that's a pretty good call. Like, they can't do anything else basically. Like, they've pushed all the lanes.
well, they know that they've got about 10 seconds until Leyline is up and available. The one thing that stops them from taking the boss. So the fact it was used, they were like, right, we need to have to try and make a play for it before it comes back. And before they have that level 16 talent that reduces the cooldown. So doing that means that they can get the boss right now and they can try and shove it in a little bit with this cooldown as well as the Junkrat. Meanwhile, red team didn't even try and get a pay in. They are just going to look to defend this boss while the rest of the blue team spreads themselves out or tries and pushes with this boss, because they know in these defensive scenarios one lane line can just be the difference.
Looking at Hogger and his 42 gems, I'm kind of worried for his health, you know.
Well, you know, it doesn't make you any more vulnerable. It's all good. They should have made it so that for every gem you have, you get like
One armor?
HP. No, 1 armor. That might have been useful as well. And then when you just stack up to 100, and then you're invulnerable.
Yeah.
But we see Surrey here getting the interrupt. And that's all the blue team want to do right now. They want to get these interrupts, shove in these lanes. You can absolutely do that with their composition. MXD did go Death's Reach on level 1, so they're looking for that full mobility. Oh, and they find Hogger here perhaps. The nano boost comes out and there's going to be a lot of damage. They're going to have to use the ley line. Fear comes out as well to try and do something, but the fact is Hogger got away, and that is all that matters. That was 42 gems that were perhaps risked here by the red team. But the blue team were not able to snatch them out of the cold dead hands.
And Zoom goes out on Gul'dan, and the Eternal Feast as a follow-up, but he gets healed and cleansed by Ana.
Yeah, that active reload doing so much work here, and now MXD is looking to try and find something, and it's going to be Kulza who goes down here perhaps. Yep, no, they heal up for 1 second, but Hogger who was spinning around has now lost all the gems. Medivh is going to try and pick them up, does manage to get a couple, has 56 of the gems, is looking to try and get a turn in off the red team. The red team, by the way, still have yet to have a turn in. Ken Kelly has to back away. The blue team opening up this middle fort. It looks like they have come from strength to strength after game number 1, and now they are finally going to be taking down another keep here of the side of the red teams.
Yeah, and may I remind you, the red team is still not even level 16. Like, they've spent the last, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 minutes being a talent down. So all of these team fights happened at a serious disadvantage for the red team.
Yeah, they're really trying to find something. You know, Punisher's gone for this chomp build, but they've not gone for the stacking talent on level 7. Of course, you don't always need it, but it helps with this a little bit of, if you can get a bit of a couple of kills, it can really help you. Or Ken Kelly tries to find something in the ley line seal, but finds nothing nothing. Of course, with Temporal Flux, they get it back a lot quicker. But blue team, they've taken down mid keep. They're looking at bot keep. They have the Siege Giants. They have the Web Weavers phase. They might try and end the game here if they manage to find a few kills.
Yeah, so they're posturing around the bottom fort, which would allow the mid Web Weaver to push in freely into the core. Gul'dan gets entombed again.
Oh, and they're getting chomped.
And
The CC was there onto her too, and that meant that Gul'dan went down. Now they're trying to find something on the backline. The Nano Malthil is available, and they have been putting a lot of damage, and Orphea does go down. Now the rest of the team is trying to do anything. They're trying to just save this game right now because this Web Weaver is going to take out this keep. The rest of the Web Weavers are going to be on the core, and the minions, they don't do no damage. They do 300% additional damage to structures. That is exactly what you want as a team against the core. You want to have a lot of minions, and here comes the Riptide, and it's gonna kill Stukov. Great play here. A couple of kills without Gul'dan. You know, their siege is a little bit weaker, but there's so many minions. This core is disintegrating. GG, well played, as Suomi take game number 2.
Yeah, very confident performance from the blue team.
Game number 3 going into the hands of Suomi there. It's especially having a really strong start into the game, as I expected, like going 5-0, 6-0 there. Early on into this game, really making it hard for Armwrestlers to even set a foot near those pay points, and this really worked out for Suomi as Armwrestlers. They were not even able to get a single turn in this game, which is really rough for the side of Armwrestlers.
Yeah, it's a complete reverse of game number 1, and you know, I can't believe quite how much of a swing we've seen. But yeah, you know, we have first pick already been picked up here now by the side of Armwrestlers, so we'll see what gets picked as a map here for side of Suomi. After that, you know, we are left with Battlefield Eternity, Ultrek Pass,
And Shrines.
and one other map, and Infernal Shrines. So, you know, all great maps left over. What will we see? Sammy, what do you want to see?
BOE.
BOE. The
Oh, actually
Battlefield of Eternity.
gonna be BOE as well. wanna see those teams battle it out again, one more time at least. And BOE is a pretty nice team fight map. Because so far, I feel like Armwrestlers game 2 and 3, they kind of struggle with the draft. So looking for game number 3, have a nice map where it's pretty much focused on one thing. And for BOE, the team fighting and a little bit of race. I mean, yesterday, looking at Division 3 finals, we did see a team with a pretty strong team fighting combo on BOE, but they completely ignored racing, so they sadly, they want some team fights, but they were unable to do anything with it. So they were like killing 3 opponents, but got outpoked by Chromie hitting the objective, so gonna be very interesting to see how the teams do here.
Especially with Medivh being played in the last game, you know, we didn't quite see the power of Medivh being able to save people, being able to find those engages. It was really well played by Suomi. So Armwrestlers struggling a little bit here, even with that pocket pick. It might just find out to be a little bit too much for them.
Yeah, and both games number 2 and 3, I feel like the red team tried to do something special, you know. So maybe this time they will decide to go for like a normal, in air quotes, draft. We'll see.
Now, without further ado, we do have our teams ready to go here. So, game number 4. Will that lead be equalized, or will Suomi take the whole thing? Let's find out as we go into the draft of Battlefield of Eternity.
Let's see, Battlefield. Schlachtfelder der Ewigkeit, as we call it in German. Let's see if it also takes an eternity to be here, but usually it doesn't. Pretty quick map objective is pretty nice to push with. And Brightwing, she gets removed again. Let's see if Sylvanas also gets removed. As she's one of the best enablers to let the objective push. And the Hanzo, which we have seen banned a lot, is one of the best race heroes on this map. And yeah, Sylvanas is gone.
Yeah. Well, with this, the Brightwing gone, I don't think we're going to see the Tracer either. I think they like to have the Brightwing with the Tracer. It sounds a bit odd, but I think, you know, that sort of being able to really move around as well as focus those backlines very quickly, which you can do with the Tracer. And of course, Brightwing can teleport onto the Tracer to give them a nice full HP bar. But it's going to be a Hanzo ban here for Armwrestlers.
Do we ban Blaze again? No, it's Lucio.
Might be a series without Blaze, which in Division 1 is quite surprising.
Didn't Division 1 have like a Blaze in every single game except for one in the regular season or something like that?
Yeah, it was a phenomenal percentage. There comes Diablo, so there's gone over to the side of the Reds this time. Maybe that is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, so far Diablo has 100% win rate in this series.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And Miley was definitely very powerful on it. Sorry, goes with a Nubrak though this time, leading out with a Anduin. Does this spell Maiev to you?
Not necessarily, but I really like the combo. Like Anduin light bombing that Anubarak when he charges in is a very strong tool. But of course, you can also light bomb something else, but we shall see.
Finally, Blaze comes in.
Very, very strong front line for the red team.
Yeah, which makes it really hard to go and dive backline into them. Because like whenever you try to dive past Blaze Diablo, Diablo might just charge on you and Blaze stuns your entire team because it's a fun button he has there called E.
Yeah, and if you dive, you're gonna be perma-slowed by the totem as well, so you can't even move there.
Let's see, as we do have next 2 picks coming out from the side of Suomi. As Mouthful this time is removed, and there's a Hogger.
Yeah, Hogger coming in to try and do a little bit of damage. And Tychus goes on to the other side this time as well. Against Blaze and Diablo, it can be very, very impactful. But don't forget, we're on Battlefield of Eternity. Sometimes it's part of the race, and the 2 damage pickups now get to go over to the side of the Reds.
Yeah, the blue team could have actually looked into picking Malthael again if they want to damage specifically against the front line, but they've decided to pick Tychus, which is fine as well.
Mouthful is banned.
Oh, right, sorry. My bad. And we have the double support Vala this time.
Oh, after picking Diablo Blaze, being like, we need more tank, let's pick Zarya as well. Armwrestlers really hard to kill here. Let's see what Suomi has as an answer on the last pick against this.
Zarya is kind of an arm wrestler, if you think about it, so it fits, right?
Yeah, very true, very true. There used to be an arm wrestling spray even. But there comes the Maiev.
Oh, yeah.
I called it from pick 1. Just want to say.
What was your reasoning, though?
Anubrak to me always says Maiev, and on this map you can do a lot of gap closing. Anubrak obviously closes that gap and allows you to throw out your shade and then catch up and pull everyone back in for the next Anubrak stun and then get a lot of damage. Let's see how these do. Sammy, which way are you favoring?
It's a really tough choice. On one side, Suomi, they do have a pretty scary looking graph. Just looking at those heroes, they're all pretty strong. But then again, we have Armwrestlers, and they have just 3 huge HP bars, and then Ancestral Healing, and a lot of heals from Sarah coming in. So I think, even though they might struggle in terms of race-wise, because they would have to split Vala for them, I think Armwrestlers are in a really good spot for this game number 4.
All right, well, let's see how they do here. In the blue team, we do have current leader Suomi, and they are Starry on Anubrak, Falk on the Tychus, MXD on Hogger, Vaiksu on Maiev, and Hertua on the Anduin.
And on the right side, we have Armwrestlers currently losing 2-1, trying to start a reverse sweep perhaps. We have Mai Ili on Diablo, Mai Li on Diablo, and Kankeli on Zarya, Kulza on Rhaegar, Patsku playing Blaze, and Punisher 8000 on Vala.
Yeah, and they already go for this straight away. The siege at the top with that Zarya. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. They do have Q built, and it looks like Zarya is going to be trying to find someone else. Kulza is burrowing out, but Folk probably is putting the damage onto Miley. And can Vaiksu find anything? They do find two. They find the pool. Can they get the kill onto the Diablo? Diablo falling lower and lower, and looks like 30 HP, 0 HP, and Ken Kelly with Zarya has no movement. 2-0. First bloods go over to the blue team.
Yeah, Maiev got tons of resets in that fight. So was able to dish out a lot of damage.
Yeah, and already the blue team now putting on the pressure in this top lane, really trying to put that back where the damage was coming in here. But they're going to have to peel away here, as, you know, getting a tower doesn't really do a lot. It's not a lot of XP. It's some, but it's not a great deal. So, good stuff here already. And the early kills meant a slight XP lead, but it's just 600 XP for the side of the blue team.
Yeah.
So now red team, they pick up the camp. They're looking to keep this pressure going on back the other way. But on the other side of things, there's Folk W and MXD doing the camp in the bottom. And Surrey has come in, burrow charge onto this Blaze, trying to just harass this Blaze, make sure they feel uncomfortable. But really, the blue team are just getting that camp as the Reds in the top lane are still just pressuring so hard. They've got the Zarya, they've got the Valor. They can really churn through these structures.
Yeah, we see like a very asymmetric approach of the red team, but let's wait out from my point.
Well, the root landed onto
like
Kelly.
So the red team puts 4 people in the top lane, which is not something you usually see. Usually it's like a 4v4 in the bot lane and top is a solo lane, but that's the opposite of what the red team is doing currently.
Yep, so now it is down to the blue teams. Just sort of find that momentum again, of course. You know, level 4 is here. We don't have any big surprises coming out. There's going to be the Firestomp build for Diablo this time. It has been preferred by Mai in the past, but we do have the In the Rhythm. Now this is very common against multiple tanks. It means that you can sort of churn down the damage consistently on both of those tanks, going from one to the other if one steps forward, rather than shedding down one and then just having the other one step into your face instead. So Tiger's in a little bit of danger here, but out comes Anubrak trying to get those stuns, and the pull comes out from Vaiksu, trying to put the damage on, but Kankeli just standing strong here with the Zarya. And that's sort of what you do with Zarya. You stand very strong until you have to run away very carefully with your little legs. But no, red team, they do a grand job doing a lot of damage, but blue team return with a lot of aggression. They do have to run away.
Yeah, it's the fight which is theoretically more favorable for the red team because they have the Immortal on their side.
Yeah, but we see here, you know, the red team now, they've pushed the blue team away, but they've not done it without taking a lot of damage themselves. Of course, Monster Hunter doesn't come in here for Valor until level 7, so that's really where the majority of their damage is. Not to be excluded is, of course, the shield and energy from Zarya. Now, it looks like the red team are looking to do a little bit of defensive. They know that MXD is there on the Hogger. However, I do not think they can make too much work of it, as Punisher has had no mana, so they've gone back to just auto-attacking the Immortal. Could well be a blue Immortal here, as we see them push away. Oh, Vaiksu comes in with a big Umbral grind, and now they're trying to get the resets. Kankeli is falling lower and lower. They have their own shield. They are able to get away, and it is just full race mode here for the blue team, as the red Immortal slowly goes further and further down.
Yeah, the blue team actually wins the objective.
Yeah, And a lot of people saying that the blue team had no race. Of course, there wasn't a Monster Hunter yet for the side of the Reds. However, this is going to be how much damage can the blue team do as they are looking to push in the off lane of the Immortal. Keeping Valor in the top, of course, and that means that Haxu on this Blaze is just down here in the bottom. They're trying to do everything they can with Kankeli on the Zarya now joining them. The minions still here, pushing in against this structure and doing a little bit of tickling damage.
Finally, level 7 connects for the red team, and here we have the Monster Hunter, obviously. For Vala.
Yeah, but sorry, goes in, finds the stun. This is where the gap closing from Maiev comes as well, but they're not able to find anything, not just this time. Of course, Maiev did go for Malicious Memento, so they are looking to sort of make sure they land those multiple hits so they can get that active up, and then they can try and take these camps very quickly and easily, as we see they have done.
Yeah. Structurally speaking, though, the red team isn't that far behind. They're just slightly behind, I would say.
The good rotation here from the red team means that Hogger is caught out, and now they're looking to try and find more. Sorry here to interrupt the last rotation of Diablo. Bikesuit pulling them in. Ultimately, a good kill here for the red team. Allows them to stabilize a little bit, try and catch up on XP, but the blue team right now are running away. A little bit of the XP and the structure advantage.
Diablo finds a stun on an Uber hype, but the counter engage of the blue team is stronger, so Vala falls first.
Yep, absolutely, they do so, and now they're trying to find something, but the flip goes over, and unfortunately the Vault of the Wardens keeps them alive, but that means that Diablo's still in danger, and Tigers does take them down with the help of Maiev. Good stuff here from the blue team, as MXD takes the siege camp while his team is just running around wild in the enemy side.
The blue team now has the level 10, so this objective is almost for sure going to the blue team for free, pretty much. At the very least, the first half of it, until the red team farms for the level 10. They managed to save the top fort, though. It has 288 HP. So that's like one Tiger's grenade.
Yeah, they'll get that eventually at some point, I'm sure. And the fact is that Tychus is clearing out this top camp. Will come up with the help of Anduin as well right now. They're focusing on just making sure that that is not a problem. Whereas the red team, they're having to rotate all the way down. It looks like they're going to be starting on this Immortal. And there we see Valor with 10 stacks on that level 1 talent doing considerable damage with the Monster Hunter. Cocoon comes out though, and out comes we see the blue team engaging, looking to try and find something. They also have the Warden's Cage being, or not the Warden's Cage, the containment disc, meaning that Diablo is stuck in there for a little bit longer, and now they're looking to try and get onto Kulza. Kulza falling lower and lower. Rhaegar is dead among them. Also, that's a triple kill, a quadra kill here for the blue team. They are doing so well.
Yeah, the red team tried to find an engage. Looked initially like they have a good position, but the blue team outplayed them eventually.
So Pac's doing a little bit of trouble. They have no bunker, and it looks like they're going to go down as well. We just see a full-on split here from the blue team. They're sieging down this bottom fort, they're sieged down the top, and now they are looking at the Immortal after opening up the map.
Yeah, I gotta say it's a very impressive Maiev performance. Top damage in the game, 34,000. The next one is Tychus with 25. So a very big gap there. And on the red side, it's Vala with 20,000.
So with this though, Valor is back on the Immortal, trying to get it to race down. The blue team not quite in position. And Mayon Diablo is fully sold and looking to just play a little bit of an interruption, but meanwhile the blue team have found their interruption of their own. They've popped back right now and they're looking to try and make this space here as they know that Diablo is not there. They're looking at Blaze. Blaze does have the bunker. They're able to do something. Punisher still trying to put out the damage. Out comes a massive stun onto the blue team, but Valor is in a lot of trouble. The lightning breath is there to look to focus down one of them, but Punisher falling lower and lower, and Sorry is trying to get that final auto attack, but Blaze is the first to go down. Down goes Valor. Sorry gets pulled out by Anduin here. And now MXD is just trying to spin to win. They find the stun onto Kulza. Kulza is going to go as well, and so is Diablo. It looks like we're seeing Suomi just unlock their full potential in this Battlefield of Eternity.
Yeah, that's true. It was very unfortunate for the red team that Ancestral was just like a half a second too late to save Vala. Maybe if she'd have stayed alive, the outcome of the fight would have been different. It is what it is.
So as we see now, they're taking this Immortal, and they are looking to open it up onto a keep now. They are fully reset. They've got almost maximum mana. Tigers will be coming down and using that Draken laser drill that we haven't seen a lot of. They should be trying to do some work here on the structures.
Meanwhile, the blue team already has level 14, so that's a talent and a level on top of that of an advantage over the red team.
So they try and use the light bomb. It doesn't quite connect here this time. However, they still have time to go. Out comes the Draken laser drill. It's already getting deleted by Blaze here. That's why you don't really see it used a lot. It doesn't get a lot of work done. But out comes, they're trying to do something. Zarya pops out the expulsion zone, but Baitsu goes back in. Pulls in is Diablo. Diablo more than happy, soaking up the energy with the shields from Zarya. But Punisher falls a little low. They need to be careful. Sorry, still looking for that deep engage here as they have a 3-level lead and still a talent tier lead. And the keep does go down, and I think that's all the Blues are, we're hoping to get. But now they're looking for more.
Yeah.
If they get a kill, they're going to look for a second kill. Out comes the Cocoon and the Containment Disc. Can they find anything more? The bunker is there and available if they look to get this Kulza kill. Rhaegar is down as well. So is Kaneki. So is the Punisher. Punisher 3000. It looks like this could be game and victory here for the side of Suomi. They have done it. They're 3-1. After losing game number 1, Suomi take the series. GG, well played. They are our Season 19's Division 1 champions. Congratulations to them. And commiserations to Armwrestlers. GG, well played. They take the series.
Yeah, well played indeed. The blue team has shown what they're capable of, and it's pretty impressive, I should say.
Yeah, very, very well played by Suomi there. Wow, I really did not expect the last draft to go that way. I thought Armwrestlers, they have a lot of HP, they can tank it for sure, but the last pick, Maya from Vaiksu, I mean, you predicted it transparent, it was really good. Getting those resets onto those big health bars helps a lot with the damage and with just killing them in general. We just saw it first moment top lane, they were like, we have Zarya, we go under your tower, we're gonna hit it a little bit. And then Suomi was coming in like, yeah, you go under a tower, but we still chase you down because we have Maiev and Anu. We jump behind you, and yeah, we kill you.
Yeah, it is a formidable combo, especially with the light bomb as well to help follow up on all that damage. We saw such good work here from the side of the blue team, really utilizing that and really making sure that they get everything they want out of these team fights. So GG, well played to them. Now, so the predictions will be coming out, and everyone will be getting what they wished for Christmas here. Of course, if you want to play in Heroes Lounge, Season 20 is up and available. ! Sign up in the chat. You'll get a link to all the info on how to be part of Heroes Lounge. That's right. Season 19 is over. Season 20, our biggest season yet, is coming in here next season. We're going to have a weekly ARAM tournament. The Nexus Rumble's still going to be there. We're going to have an extended map pool as well. So some of all your favorite maps will be back into the map pool. Really watch out for everything coming in at Season 20. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big celebration of everything that Heroes Lounge has been for Heroes of the Storm.
Okay,
Yeah,
do we have an interview with the winners?
Looks like we might do soon. As we get everyone a little bit prepped and ready. But yes, yeah. I mean, that last game was dominating for certain. Yeah, of course, we didn't even see Infernal Shrines. That's going to be some of our chat's favorite there.
Where's Josh when we talk about shrines? It's indeed shrines or not? I mean, but that's always the thing. Like, usually if you go in a best of 5 into the last map, you see pretty much every map except for one being left out. But this time it was not the case. Congratulations to Suomi as they're joining us for the interview. Congratulations on winning 3-1 against Armwrestlers here.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, really well done, everybody there. Obviously, you lost the first map, but came back through it all. I just want to say, as board member of Heroes Lounge, congratulations. We will be trying to get a small token of award and appreciation to you at some point in the near future. We are trying to sort that out, of course. Heroes Lounge does sometimes take a time with doing these things. I think sometimes my trophy arrived about 2 years
Yeah, I heard.
after.
Yeah.
But we're trying to speed up that process. We're trying to get it into a little bit of a more flexible way that we can do it, to try and get things out to people nice and quickly. But once again, really big thank you to you, and of course, a big thank you to everybody who has helped out here. We had Lady doing the admin as well. In the background, as well as Eric Swift, who organizes a lot of the admins, and Samu, who's been a fantastic person managing the streams both today and yesterday with the help of Sizzle. But yeah, once again, congratulations everybody here at Suomi. You have done a fantastic job. Coming back from game number 1 here, how does it feel?
It's good. We started a little bit on the low side, but we got our engine going.
Yeah, game number 1 was such a choking game as well. I mean, you were surviving so well, but there just wasn't an opportunity for you to actually break through into the enemy sort of aggression. And yet you've coming back very, very well. Was it just sort of Dragonshire's a little bit of a tough map for you, or do you find that which map was it? The Towers of Doom is just sort of a much more comfortable place for you.
I think the fault was in the draft. Like we had good disengage tools, but we didn't have any tools to kill them. So we usually like to play really aggressively, and by removing the opponents from the map, it just opens the space for us. But in that game, we just didn't get that space.
Yeah, you were certainly having a bit of a tough one. But that last one, you definitely had the gas pedal on. The aggression was there. Did you always have the Maiev in mind for that draft?
No, it was just last minute flex. We always like to have the second assassin slot remaining at the last pick, so we can flex it in many ways.
I played like 4 games of Maiev, but it worked out, so it's alright.
It worked out, certainly. It certainly did work out. You were banning Hogger a lot throughout the whole season, yet you sort of still were able to play and use it. Is that just sort of a standard ban for you, Hogger, but you sort of just keep it in the back pocket?
We like to have some variety, though we have been spamming a lot of Junkrat, but Diablo, of course, but like offlaner-wise, we like to have the variety, and Mixit doesn't really like to play one hero only, and he's the main Hogger guy on our team, so... And also, usually the other teams, their best players are usually maining Hoggers, so it's usually a good ban.
Yeah, definitely sensible enough. Samu, you obviously have played Hogger yourself. Have you got any opinions for this or questions for the team?
I mean, Hogger is a good hero. Played it went to the video game. But yeah, I mean, looking at game number 2, sorry, not game number 3, the Tomb of Spider Queen game, you did go in and accidentally picked Mephisto instead of Mouthful. Was there any thoughts about picking Mephisto as well? Because looking at their draft, I really liked Mephisto into what they had so far.
I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Like we had a pre-pick of Maltile, and we were thinking like, okay, this is good, and then some sort of brain lag happened, and we didn't block the Maltile and we got the Mephisto, and then Clown Show started. I'm not sure what happened, but it was a clown show for that, and we are sorry for that also.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, and then you made good hopes for Yosh with picking Atanis last, but he, of course, reverted because it's not a good hero. Don't pick Atanis, guys. But yeah, very well done there, especially like when they did pick the Mephisto, not the Medivh in the Tomb game. How did you feel about their Medivh pick?
Well, it was an enabler for their combo. Like, we knew that they are going to abuse the Lyric Tomb with the silence and throwing all sort of other stuff into that. And but I think our last week cooldown was kind of good at countering that. We just need to be careful around the Medivh and not to let him have like a big engage on 2 or more heroes. But if they only engage on one, it's perfectly fine for us. They need to use so many tools just for the one guy. So in the end, it wasn't that much of a deal for us.
Indeed, we saw it once where they had to use 4 ultimates just to kill Surrey, and then he just respawned because he was Diablo. So yeah, any more questions from you, Transparent and Jimmy?
I have a question regarding map 2. So you chose the map pick, right?
Yeah.
Usually people go for the first pick when they're on the losing side. So what was your reasoning? Did you did you have good experience? Did you practice anything in particular regarding the towers, or what was the idea?
I just usually value the last pick more than the first pick, and also you get the 2 other main picks instead of just one. So I think it's overall better for us, at least.
Mm-hmm. And the enemy team played pretty unusual comps in pretty much every map. So did you adapt to this on the fly during the draft, or you pretty much just stuck to whatever your pre-game plan was during the draft?
Well, we just try to focus on getting our 2 or 3 main heroes, and then towards the end we just try to adapt into what the opponent picks, especially with the last pick. That's 100% encountering what the enemies have.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, well, once again, it was absolutely a fantastic show to watch. You really were we played a lot of heroes today as well, of course. We saw Diablo and Tychus in every single one. Do you think they're always just going to be at the top of the general meta now? That obviously we don't have patches anymore in Heroes of the Storm.
I don't know. It's just really good hero.
Just really good heroes. Well, yeah, I think that's all for me, guys. Do you have any shout-outs you'd like to make at all?
Of course, shout out to our Finnish comrades, especially Patsko and Mylly, helping us subbing during the launch season. And all the other Finnish fans we had watching the game.
It was an absolute pleasure to cast, for sure.
Yeah, we also had Myrmidon coming in from the Finnish community, even doing a Finnish stream for all the Finnish people, as it was Finnish against Finnish in the end. So thank you guys for joining me. Congratulations once again. And yeah, I guess we're gonna head off and say thank you again for joining us at this beautiful interview with you guys, and good luck for the next season if you're gonna stay in Heroes. Of course, good luck here, and else, yeah, whatever you're gonna do in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well played. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Alrighty, then thank you, Jimmy, for joining us. As Transparent, me gonna stay here for Division 1 Plus finals. We are currently not 100% sure when it's starting, as we have to be a little bit flexible and adapt to the players at the moment. But we hope to start even time or maybe a bit earlier. Let's see how it goes. Anyways, thank you, Jimmy,
Okay.
for joining us here. Transparent, me
Thank
gonna
you, guys. Thanks
for
watching. Bye.
Thank you for joining and stay on. I'm gonna shortly reset the stream because we're up to 90-second delay, which is just a bit too much. And so yeah, we're gonna be back soon with Division 1 Plus finals between Kayak, and Todesritter FC. So thank you for joining so far and see you later. Bye bye!
Bye.